Yo, what the heck is going on, everybody? It's your boy, SnowBikeMike, back again for another fun little catch-up with my best friend, Washburn135. We're here catching up on the week we just had. We're going to talk all things video games. We're going to talk about our lives, share what we've been watching, what we've been playing, and most importantly, catching up with you, the incredible Hype Nation out there. So whether you're watching live on Twitch or on the VOD over on YouTube, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for being a part of it. And, of course, let me know, what dope stuff did you get into this week? And what fun entertainment and or video game news caught your eye? Was it the acquisition of Sony and Bungie? Is it MLB The Show 2022? Is it maybe the release of Dying Light 2? Stay Human? I don't know. But we'll talk about that this week, because this week we get to catch up with my best friend, Washburn. We sent some invitations out, Washburn, to some friends to join the podcast this week. We've been talking about it. This is week 4 of you and I doing this weekly, just hang out and chat on the live stream, and we sent out some invitations. They were all declined, politely declined, and well, maybe next week we'll get something, you know what I mean? Maybe next week we'll get a fun guest.
Yeah, sure.
Politely declined.
I think I recall us sitting in a room and Kevin saying, "Are you going over there?" And he's saying, "Fuck you, Kevin, I gotta do it."
I might have said that. But Washy, welcome back for another week. Let's start off. Washy, how you doing?
I'm good. You know, like we just talked about, it's cold weather here in Texas, so things are shutting down for the rest of the week. So a nice little surprise 4-day weekend. So that'll be cool to bang out some Pokemon.
Oh,
maybe finish that up. So, you know, not much else. You know, it's the start of the back half of winter.
That is correct.
You know,
the back half of winter.
And so it's like the most boring, depressing time of the year where like nothing happens. You know, we've got some big game releases, but in life, like there's not really a lot going on. Everything's pretty routine right now. So still, you know, a month out from spring, and then, you know, 4 or 5 months out from summer where I can travel. And so pretty boring right now.
Yes. I feel that, Washy. February is an interesting month because, yeah, it is like the dead middle of winter, right? And I think when you end February, you start to see that spring light, that warmth come back. The sun stays out just a little bit longer. But when you're in that January, February window, you are in the thick of things here for winter time. And, of course, thankfully, as video game players, you and I, we get treated to some great games because now the release window is not just October through November. Now it's February. Just randomly, it's February now. So we're going to play a lot of great games here in the cold, which is a ton of fun. But, Washburn, since we get to catch up, we have a great question coming in from the chat right now. It's Metal AR Ninja, and I'm probably mispronouncing that name because I just made up letters in there. But they want to know, Washy, how do you and I know each other? And I thought that would be a fun way to kick off the podcast, because you have just resubscribed to my Twitch channel for almost 3 years. We're nearing the 3-year marker, which is crazy to think about. But Washy, how did you and I meet? Do you remember the origin story?
I mean, way before you got hired by Kind of Funny, I was in your Twitch channel occasionally here and there, and we would play games on and off.
Yep.
And then it was Borderlands 3.
Oh, no.
I think it was Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Where you put out the call for a Beastmaster, and I was like, I'm playing Beastmaster. Little did I know you were going to force me and Tagato and poor Kevin to marathon that game in a weekend.
One weekend.
And then I don't know, man. We just kind of organically hit it off from there. I feel like you and I are kind of like the yin and the yang. Yeah. Whereas you're very upbeat and positive and loud, I'm pretty much the opposite of that. So just good energy bouncing off each other. I think it just kind of grew.
Yeah, I like the yin and the yang comparison. And I do look at you and many others as my best friends. But yeah, I think we grew through the Twitch channel. I think what's been so fortunate for me, it's funny, I was talking to my little brother about this, is like through Twitch streaming, I've made a lot of lifelong friends, right? Names that were just chat members then became gaming buddies, then became like real life, like these are my best friends. I'm around them all the time, right? And that did happen with you and I. And it's funny you bring up the Borderlands 3 situation. That was like, Washy, right when I was trying to figure out, what am I? Who am I, right? Do I want to pursue video games media? Am I a critic? Am I just a live streamer, right? And that was at the pinnacle of like, you got to be the first one on Twitter, right? You got to spoil things. You got to tell people your impressions 24 hours within release. And I'll never forget having you, Kevin, and Tegado. And I said, I want to beat this game by the end of the weekend so we can write up a tweet.
It's such a disservice.
147 characters about Borderlands 3, right?
So fucking such a disservice to that game. Me and Kevin went back and played it recently. I think like last week or the week before. And we were doing one of the DLCs where you're like in a casino.
Oh, okay.
Like Handsome Jack's casino.
Okay.
And me and Kevin were sitting there like, this is a really fucking good video game, huh? Like, yeah, it's really good. And we just like did not appreciate it for what it was.
No, it was
when we were playing it.
It's such a weird thing because, you know, we always talk about it. And I think everybody out there in the chat and watching on VOD gets that, right? The first to something, the first to share your opinion online, right? Whether it be watching Boba Fett at 11 p.m. at night and sharing it by 12:01, right? Everybody lives in this culture now where we got to be first. You got to be in the conversation. And yeah, that's how I approached Borderlands 3. And that's how you and I became close friends, right? Is I put you through a weekend of hell.
Yeah, I think like you say, it was like you were in the middle of a transition, like a life transition. And so was I. I was like moving. That was a time about 3 years ago when I was moving from Houston up to Dallas to to switch jobs. So I don't know. It just kind of organically grew.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And it grew from there. But, you know, it's funny because you see Nick in the chat right now says, good thing no one cares about my opinions online. No need to rush through the new things. I think that was the learning experience from it, right, Washington? It's like we went into that and I said, yo, we got to do this, right? And you and Kevin and Tegado would be like, hey, can we do this side mission? Or like, Mike, can I look at my guns? And I was like, no. We have to beat this now, right? And then what did we get from that? About 4 likes and 2 retweets, right? And so we learned you don't have to be first, right? You should really enjoy the experience, enjoy the journey, and then give a thoughtful, you know, critique or thought about that out on social media if you want to share it like that, right? And I think you and I learned a valuable lesson from that where it's like, oh, you don't have to be first, right? People still care a week later. We still want to talk about Boba Fett tomorrow, a week later. I don't need to talk about it at 12:01 a.m. with you when I should be sleeping. I can talk about it the next week with you. I still like it the same. And so I think I took away a good learning experience from that. And I also learned that your friends won't like the gaming experience if you make them play a 40-hour game in a matter of 48 hours, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like right now, me and Kevin are both watching Succession, which is not new. Like, it's not a new show, but we're kind of in the same spot in season 2. And like just talking about it with him is a lot of fun, you know? And I get way more joy out of that than I would reading some tweet from somebody that I don't know, you know. But yes, you know, I put out a tweet today about is it Nibel on Twitter, who will put out just a bunch of numbers, and then every YouTuber and outlet will jump immediately into the replies. Yeah. And just say, we got this, because everybody, yeah, you're right. It has to be first.
You have to, that's part of the nature of the business. Yeah.
And you got to jump on that train and get the most eyeballs on your stuff, because that's how you make money. And I get it. But yes, I mean, there's a certain joy that gets taken away from consuming content when you're doing it for that purpose.
And it's funny, you know, that's how you and I met, right? For the moral of the story, that's how our friendship began. And it's funny because I've had multiple friendships begin like that thanks to Twitch and thanks to gaming, right? It's how me and Kevin Ace X became very close friends. Tegado the same way. I forced them to play 400 plus hours of PUBG in a year. That was like the hardest video game to play on Xbox the time it released because it was just buggy and bad, right? We made Bone Jangles, if you remember, the first time I ever met Bone Jangles. We made him play Gears 5 Horde mode on the most difficult setting all the way through, only for it to crash and him not get the achievement. And so I've made a lot of friends through gaming and through Twitch. And yeah, Washburn's just one of those close friends where, you know, you hit it off with somebody and you want to be around them all the time. And you just become bros, you become family, and we share our lives together. And I think Andy talks about it all the time, Washburn, of like, you know, our friend group always being together every single night and how lucky and special it is, right, to have that, especially during COVID, right, where, you know, we sat in this 2-year lockdown, especially the first year where you really couldn't go outside, right? It was a different situation than where it is now, where it's like, yo, we're here all the time. Like, let's just hang out and game. And that was really, really nice to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Andy put it, it's like having roommates, kind of.
Yep.
But not really, because, you know, it's like having roommates without all the bad parts of having roommates.
That's definitely a good way to say it.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, I don't have to worry about your dishes. I don't have to get on you for making a fucking mess, but I can have the company, which is the part that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And so it's been great. Yeah. I mean, and then we've kind of built the friend group out and JD coming in and all that. Yeah, it's just it's just very organic.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well. Sorry to stay on this topic before we get into it, but it is fun to see and be a part of, right? And like everybody can connect with our friendship in different ways, right? With their own friendships and their own relationships, because it's easy in elementary school, middle school, and high school, right? Those are the people that you're surrounded by every single day. It's different when you go off to college or a young adult and you're all by yourself, right? That friend group morphs and changes, whether it be your college classmates, your first roommates, right? Maybe it's work friends like I had up here on the mountain where it was just me and a lot of work employees becoming friends. And then like you evolve from that, like, oh, we're acquaintances, or like we call each other friends, to like, oh, those are my homies. Those are my best friends, right? Like I'm with them all the time, right? And it is really fun to see, and it's really cool to see how people build that up and people can reflect on that in their own lives, right? And it's cool. We can share the story, and I love hearing other people's stories about how they make their best friends in life. You know, it's really, really fun.
Yeah, I just think a lot of the dynamic of our group specifically is people who, without saying it, because it does sound a bit cheesy, kind of need each other.
Yep.
You know, and like the camaraderie, and you know me pretty fucking well. I'm not the most positive person. I have trouble displaying emotion a lot of the time. And so I need somebody like you to, you know, try to bring that out of me and better myself. And I think just kind of all of us being around each other we've kind of bettered ourselves and made each other better humans.
Yep, that's
well said. So it's been pretty special the past 3 or 4 years to have this group of guys.
Hey, well, there you go. There's your fun little answer for you, and welcome in. I see a best friend gifted out a tier 1 sub to you as well. So Ninja, I hope that was good for you, and I appreciate you letting me call you by the wrong name, and eventually I'll figure out the right name, okay? But let's jump in to a fun Wednesday catch-up with Washburn. Washburn, there's stuff that we've been playing, and I want to hold that for the back half. Let's first talk about what we've been watching. It's another week. You've been sitting on the couch. You've been hanging out. What have you been watching? What have you been up to?
So I'm still plugging away at Succession.
Okay, let's talk about it. Tell me about it.
2 seasons, almost done with season 2.
Okay. How many episodes is that? Give me a breakdown of like, what is a season of Succession? 10 episodes, 15, 30?
10 episodes.
10 episodes, okay.
Season. They're an hour long.
Okay, so that's a lot of time. It's a lot of time.
Update, I mean, without trying to get into like spoiler territory.
Okay.
Still kind of hate everybody.
Okay.
I am still on Team Tom and Team Greg because they're the least evil people, even though they do something totally fucking terrible. They're just not as mean as everybody else, I guess. So I've been kind of rooting for them. It's a very good show. I mean, if you're into like, it's a dramedy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
okay,
like it's drama, but a lot of it is played for levity and comedy. And it's kind of a reflection on the Murdoch family, or like an allegory, I guess, or kind of a loose, very loosely inspired on the Murdoch family, who owns Fox. So if you're interested, I mean, I would give it a go. It's not my favorite thing I've ever watched,
Okay, yeah.
But it is the thing right now that's got me watching something. It's my show right now.
Good.
And I'm not a big watcher of things. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not watching Boba Fett. I'll watch Boba Fett eventually when it's finished. I'm watching Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
That's like my weekly thing. Like in my watch rotation, I like to keep one weekly thing and one binge thing.
Bingeable, yep. Okay.
So, yeah, so like right now, Succession's like my binge on your own time, and Peacemaker's my weekly thing.
Okay.
So HBO Max is kind of dominating right now.
HBO Max got the content right now. They got good content.
But yeah, so we'll just have to kind of see what's next. I think Boba Fett's probably going to be next after I finish Succession, or catch up on Succession, and then when Peacemaker finishes, there'll probably be another Marvel show by that point. Moon Knight will be right around the corner. So
I think by the time Peacemaker and Righteous Gemstones finish, we should be, in my mind, moving into that window of Halo and Game of Thrones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
I think the next Halo's March, which we're going to watch the trailer together here at the end of the show, towards the middle of the show. But I think, like, after that, I think March is also Game of Thrones, if I'm not mistaken. So that should be fun to get that back in the rotation, which I'm excited about. But let's pause really quick. What do you think about Peacemaker? Because I'm loving Peacemaker. I'm having a blast with
it's
it.
Great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the new episode tonight, I think.
What day is today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Is that when they're releasing?
I don't know if HBO Max drops it at midnight like Disney Plus does.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I've loved it. Every episode is good. John Cena's fucking
great.
Awesome.
He's so good. Yeah.
The girl that plays Adebayo is so fucking funny. Dude.
So funny. She's great.
I don't know her name, but she is so fucking funny. Vigilante's great.
He's a welcome situation there. Like, I was really impressed with him. He's been fun. It's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just James Gunn, dude.
Killing it, man. That guy's got he knows
Warner
it, bro.
Brothers
He's good.
Needs to fucking just dump the money truck on this guy, dude, and just say, take over. After Flashpoint, just like whatever they're gonna do with Flash to sort of reset and try to kind of do their version of the MCU, if they do.
Yeah.
He needs to be their
Feige brothers,
name?
Right?
Yeah, he needs to be their Kevin Feige.
Yes.
Okay. Like, just give it to James Gunn and make him the Kevin Feige. Like, put him in charge of all this, because he clearly understands tone and how to balance emotional and serious subject matter with comedy, and how to write stuff. He's just a great writer. And I'm not saying he has to write and direct everything, but like, he should put his stamp. Bros.
Yes.
Yeah, he should put his stamp on that, and they should let him kind of have free reign creatively.
Okay.
I'd put him on a development deal if I was Warner Brothers. Did you hear the dude that plays Roy Kent?
I like him.
Lasso.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers just put him on this massive development deal. Like, massive. Do you know what a development deal is?
No, tell me what is he going to do?
So a development deal is like when a studio just dumps money on you, and it's like, essentially it's like they put you on retainer.
I like that. I like being on retainer.
So like, they're just like, here's a bunch of money. Anything that you make, write, direct, produce, star in, act in, whatever, is going to be for us for like a certain amount of time.
Dope. Okay.
That's what a development deal is. And Roy Kent, the guy that plays Roy Kent, just got a major development deal from Warner Brothers.
Get paid, bro. I like that guy a lot.
So, like, just do it for James Gunn, dude. Just get this guy on a fucking development deal and just say, like, just go, dude. Just fucking go. Like, produce, be our Kevin Feige. Like, let's fucking do it, because he can clearly do it, I think. I think he can do it.
So
he probably doesn't want to do it, but
yeah. The Naughty Biscotti writes,
if he did do it, I'd love it.
That name of the actress is Danielle Brooks. She is great.
Yeah,
she's a lot of fun. I really am enjoying Peacemaker. I knew I would enjoy it because, like, I like John Cena. We watched a lot of Wipeout with John Cena, right? And we know what he's capable of in the movies that he's been in. And so, like, I was confident in that, but I didn't know it would be this much fun. And I think tell me.
He's got range.
Yeah, he's got it, bro. He's like The Rock, right? I think there was a really fun video about him talking about The Rock and seeing that work ethic.
He's probably got a little bit more range than The Rock.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not to say The Rock is bad. I love The Rock. But yeah, it's these wrestlers, man. These people that come from wrestling, which don't hate me, but it is acting. You know what I mean? So they have that experience coming in, and they're fucking. He's killing it.
Yeah,
John Cena is really good,
really great. And I think the first couple episodes were good, but I think these recent ones are great. Right, like the gorilla scene will be something that everybody remembers for the remainder of that series. It was just that good. I want to give a big shout out to 8-Bit Luis out here for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you, 8-Bit Luis. And our good friend Chris Anka notes Cena and Batista have way more range than The Rock. Batista, another great one as well. Love Batista.
Go watch Batista for 5 minutes in Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, okay. That's a movie I've completely forgotten about. Okay.
And yeah, you'll see that dude can fucking act his balls off.
Okay.
Yeah, he's great.
So Peacemaker's been great. I'm glad that you're sticking with Succession. Over on my side, Washy, I got 2 stories for you from the week. I'll talk about what I've been watching, and that is The Legend of Vox Machina, which is the Critical Role. I don't know how to equate it because, like, when I think Critical Role, I think Dungeons and Dragons, right, Washy? I've never really watched Critical Role, but I know that's what it's kind of centered around. So I'm just going to call it Dungeons and Dragons, the TV show, right? But it's their own stuff. And I am actually really impressed, Washy. I really, really like this. And I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons guy. I don't really never watch Critical Role. I know who they are, but I've never watched it. I know they're massive. But for me, I like high fantasy, right? I like that. And I love animated series, especially the mature animated series. And this gives off Harley Quinn vibes, but of course, like knights, wizards, and goblins. And that's what I love. I mean, I absolutely love Harley Quinn. So if you're going to put a mature spin on something like that, like Lord of the Rings, I'm all in. And the voice acting is really, really good. It's awesome, Washy, to be on Amazon Prime Video, and I love clicking it, and they show you all of the actors in it, right, on the screen, and, like, to see names that I know, like Felicia Day is in it. Yeah, I love it. I think that's so cool, right? And so they're coming out with 3 episodes a week, which I like. If you're not going to give me bingeable, Washy, give me a chunk. Give me something big, right?
20-minute episodes?
Yeah, I think they're 20 episodes. 20, 30. I don't think they're hour longs. But it's fun, Washburn, and it's cool because at first, the first episode, I thought, oh, man, here's the big overarching villain. This is going to be the story plot throughout. And actually, it's just 1 and 2, which I really liked. And then we move on to another one. And they have a big cast of characters that we're going to get to know and love over time. But right off the bat, I'm enjoying the animation style, except for the dragon. Didn't like the dragon. I think that was like one of those weird ones. You know, Wash, we had like this really cool, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not Chris Sanka, but like the hand-drawn animation style, right? But then you like splash in this weird 3D animated like dragon in the middle of it. It just doesn't look right. And that's what they did. And I was like, that doesn't feel right. I don't like that. Thankfully, they got rid of it pretty quick. But I like the animation. I love the voice acting. I think they have a really cool cast. And most importantly, like the story's fun. I like what they're doing. I like the mature vibe to it. It is something that I'm into now. Will this, I don't know if this is their goal. I'm sure it's probably partly the goal, right, Washburn, from a business side, is like, will this draw me in to them on Twitch or them on YouTube to watch them play D&D? I don't know quite yet. But like, if you continue to put out this animated series, I'm going to be there. I really like that. I think it's easier than a bunch of talking heads and me closing my eyes picturing all this, right? I'm not the artist. Draw it for me and I'll enjoy it, you know?
I'm not much of a cartoon guy or anime guy. And I say that, but then I go and watch something like Arcane.
Yes.
That blows me away and becomes one of my favorite shows ever made. So clearly I'm just wrong about myself. And if you tell me a great story, I'll take it in any sort of format. So I might give this one a try.
Okay. Yeah, I would recommend it. I like the first 3 episodes. I think it is fun. Especially if you get through all 3, I think you might be into it. So I'd recommend it. And the art style is very good. The animation is good, except for that dragon. But like, if you look past that, It is very cool, and I like that fantasy world. Second, Washburn, I wanted to tell you about is spent a little money this week. Okay, I swiped the credit card a couple of times here, and I want you to know that I upgraded. As you know, Washy, I'm a one pair shoe man, and that's probably not how you're supposed to live, right? Because I'm a little embarrassed. Right? Well, I mean, like, get it like this. So you tell me you work out in those shoes too, and then you go about your day?
Well, no.
Okay, well, that's what I'm getting at. Is I have one pair of shoes, Washburn. One pair. I work, I play, I walk around, I step and poop, I step and gum. I do everything in this one pair of shoes. And that's just because, I haven't been working, out and about on the mountain, so I don't need a second pair of shoes. I don't go out that much. So I've been rocking this one pair of shoes. And then finally I was like, I just don't want to be that guy with stanky shoes. I can't wear one pair of shoes for the rest of my life. And so I went out and I splurged. I bought 3 pairs of shoes. I think I'm going to get a 4th, Washy, but I did get some brand new shoes this week.
Stop. Okay,
what?
So so much to dissect here. I have so many questions.
Question away. I'm an open book.
Okay, so in my experience, this is how I operate.
Operate it. Lay it on me.
Okay, I've got a pair of dress shoes that I wear to work.
Okay.
My work shoes. They're dress shoes.
Yep.
I've got a pair of tennis shoes for working out in.
Working out. Yep.
And then I've got Crocs, because Crocs are goated.
Okay.
And then I have a pair of like slippers and a pair of cowboy boots because I live in Texas.
Yeah, you got to have cowboy boots. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're not
South
going to
table. Yeah.
So like I've got 5 cowboy boots included, like 5 different sets of footwear that all have a very specific purpose.
5.
And so they're all necessary.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How many pairs of tennis shoes did you buy?
So let's go over it. You ready here? So out of the 3, and why I want to add a 4th is what I did. I bought 1 pair of active tennis shoes, right? These are running shoes on Nike.com, right? And I bought those because I wanted just casual everyday wear, right? That's my everyday
so 1 pair
of just like casual running shoes, right? Going to the grocery store, maybe going into work one day, right? I'm not working out in these. They're not workout shoes. Then I bought a pair of nice, we'll call them upscale casual, right? They're Nike Air Force Ones. These were for like, I'm going out to a dinner. I'm going out to a lunch date, right? I'm going out on the town, and I don't want to wear running shoes. Boots. Yeah, okay. And you're going to get here in a second why I messed up, right? Because then on the 3rd pair, I bought boots, which is the first time in my 13 years here in Tahoe. They're Nike boots. They're really nice Nikes. Nike actually wears dope like snow boots.
So like hiking boots.
Yeah, think hiking boots, but Nike branded. Yeah, and it's actually funny. The first time in my 13 years ever in Tahoe, of all places, owning hiking boots. I've gone all of my years refusing to wear hiking boots and just wearing running shoes and just trekking in snow and up the side of mountain cliffs. You shouldn't do that, but I did it. You know what I mean? And I've proven that you can do it because Nike said just do it. So here's my issue. I have nice boots now for rainy days in San Francisco, snowy days in Tahoe, right? I have a nice pair of casual boots. You and I, we're going to go get tacos at Azul. I'm going to wear those, right? They look nice. These casual running shoes, why I want a 4th pair is because I want the running shoes to also be workout shoes, right? You can't wear these running shoes casually, but also work out in them because they're going to stink.
So I wear my workout. Can you fucking wear socks? What do you mean they're going to stink?
I mean, you're talking to a kid that played like 17 years of basketball over his life. Their shoes are going to stink. I'm working out.
It's
I'm
like
sweating.
to go to the grocery store, I just wear the same shoes I would wear to go to the gym.
See, I don't want to do that. I want to go to the grocery store in casual running shoes.
So are you telling me that I'm fucking
stank feet? Are you stank feet
doing that?
No, I'm just saying, why not buy a 2nd pair? Why not just have a dedicated pair to work it out? That's what I want. Well, I want a dedicated pair working out. See, the issue
I don't
is
disagree with what you're saying.
I know you don't.
Like the problem that I'm having now is like you've got me in my own head.
Exactly. So
like,
now you're thinking
I need another pair of shoes.
You do, Washburn, because you're talking to a kid.
But do I really though?
I think you do. I think you deserve it. I think you should do it, right? Because those now casual running shoes that you have that don't go to the gym can also be your casual shoes to go out to an afternoon lunch. They can go to the grocery store. You can go to work in them and not have the fear of stanking, right? The whole part of gym shoes is they should be thrown in a bag and they're only for the gym. You know, like they're gym shoes. You're going to sweat and have them stink. And I feel like they shouldn't mix and match. There should just be a dedicated shoe.
I guess so. I mean, I've never really thought. I've never spent a lot of time thinking about this.
Well, the catch is you're talking to me who played a lot of basketball. And in basketball, you technically have to have dedicated basketball shoes, right? They're my gym shoes. They have to be there. They can't be on they can't be on concrete and hardwood. So it's always, I've grown up having one pair of dedicated shoes. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Maybe I should get another pair of shoes.
I say splurge it, bro.
So I'm telling myself, and it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
I need a pair of shoes to go to the fucking grocery store in.
No, you need a pair of casual shoes in your life. From what you just told me, you deserve a pair of casual shoes. You have work shoes.
My boots double as casual shoes.
Yeah, but but you and I both know you don't. What if you came out to Tahoe and we went to the grocery store, we went to Cave Rock, we went to the beach in an afternoon? Those casual running shoes aren't going to be your workout shoes because you're not going to fly on a plane in your workout shoes. And you're not going to bring your cowboy boots because those are just heavy and hot. Yes, I know they're not, but they are technically. Why not just have the pair of running shoes? The casual shoe.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
That's how I feel.
I'm going to buy another pair of shoes.
Thank you. So I'm at 3. I need to go to 4. So here's my catch. Here's my catch. Okay, so I want to go to 4 because I bought my casual, nice pair of Nikes for lunch and going out on the town and looking semi-nice. I bought them in black, Washy. And I've never owned a black pair of shoes that aren't running shoes, right? And so I'm a little self-conscious on them, and I want to get them in white. So I want to have a black pair, white pair of just these casual Nikes. I don't feel confident in black
and white pairs of shoes.
What do you go with? Really, I've always gone white. Gray. Gray.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never worn gray shoes.
Right now my Nikes that I wear to the gym are just gray with the white swoosh and
but those are running shoes though. I'm talking about think about almost Air Force Ones but not Air Force Ones.
I think
you wouldn't get them in gray.
Black shoes look fucking stupid.
See, that's why I'm self-conscious in these black shoes. I don't know if I made the right choice going black.
You should have gone white.
White. Exactly. That's why I need this 4th pair. I should have gone white.
Yeah, you should have gone white.
You know what I mean? If you don't grow up wearing black Converse, right? If you don't grow up wearing black Vans, you're not comfortable in black shoes.
Are
and that's
the laces
what me.
Black?
No, I think they're white because the swoosh is white. So the laces
so they're not
white.
Blacked out.
They're not blacked out. They're not blacked out. They're just heavy
then you're
black.
fine. Then you're fine.
I'm just so self-conscious. That's why I want white.
When I say black shoes look fucking stupid, what I mean is all blacked out. Black Nike swoosh, black laces, black sole,
black,
black, main part of the shoe. I'm not a fan of that look. But if you've got just a black shoe with a white swoosh and white laces, I think you're fine.
You're going to be fine with that? See, I just don't know. I'm not a big shoe guy. I don't really look at your shoes when I meet you either. You know what I mean? I'm more of a waist-up type of jabroni. Yeah, I'm not giving a whole look down on you he's got purple shoes today. That's crazy. I'm usually a waist-up type of guy, but I don't know about black shoes. So it's interesting. That's why I want to buy a 4th pair. And I will tell you this, Washy. I am going to go from 4 to 5, but the 5th pair of shoes is okay. You ready for this? 5th pair of shoes is when I go see Chris Anka in LA. I feel my best. I've lost some weight. I'm in the prime. I'm ready for the suit. I'm ready for the high class gear, right? This is when I go to Chris Anka and say, let's find shoes. No. So that's why I go to Chris Anka and I say, hey, let's get that leather pair boots, or let's get that nice dress shoe. Let's get that dressy but not dressy shoe, and he brings me the 5th pair, which is the Mike's stunting like his daddy on the red carpet shoe. That's the shoe I'm going for Chris Anka. So that's the 5th shoe.
That's appropriate.
Okay. That's my lineup right now. That's where I'm at.
I'll allow it.
Okay. I just wanted you to know. I don't
disagree with anything you said here, and I don't really take issue with any of it.
Okay, great. Hey, I feel like I'm on the path right there. I know it is a lot of purchasing.
I will say that. Yeah, it's I've always just like every shoe has a purpose. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Every pair of shoe or footwear that I own is just so specific.
Yes.
And I guess maybe I need to get another pair of shoes because I've never specified. I mean, I guess I just wear cowboy boots, and I mean, Texas is like it's hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in the summer you wear flip flops everywhere, toes out, feet out,
Toes out, feet out. Yeah, yeah.
Accept it, just accept it.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody's wearing flip flops. And then it gets cold, and you throw on the jeans and you throw on the cowboy boots.
That's it. Exactly.
And that's it.
I mean, that's me with the Nikes right
But
now,
maybe
right?
I
Everything.
need another pair of tennis shoes.
I
You've
think
got
so.
me thinking I need another pair of tennis
Washy,
shoes.
you're in the gym on the daily, right? Like you're doing
Yeah.
it, Washy. So I think you do need a pair. I think you deserve a pair. Like you're probably just going to use the ones you have right now, but you deserve a pair that are clean, not stanky, that you can wear anywhere and be safe in. I think that's what you need right now.
Yeah.
I think you should think about it. I think it's
Okay.
the move.
So,
So
because cowboy boots can be hard to like whip off.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's too much. I mean, I get it down there, the culture and stuff, you know what I mean? But like, I think we are in a day and age now where more people are, Nikes and athletic shoes are there,
Yeah, especially like when I travel, you know.
Yeah, exactly,
You
especially when
can't
you
travel
travel.
with cowboy boots.
No, because then it limits you, right? What are you gonna pair? You're gonna grab another pair of shoes in your backpack? No, that's too
big.
much, Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for putting up with us just catching up. We got to jump in and have some fun. That was a wild moment there. But let's talk about the games we've been playing because you and I have been playing some new releases. Of course, you get to talk about Pokemon. I am now not embargoed anymore, so I can share my thoughts and opinions on Dying Light 2. So I thought we'd talk about both those games because we are the yin and the yang. So why don't we kick off with Pokemon? You've put a lot of time into Pokemon. I've jumped in, played through the tutorial. I'm about 3 hours in. Let's talk about Pokemon. What do you think of Pokemon Legends Arceus?
So I played all weekend, pretty much only taking breaks to go to the restroom and eat.
It's a gaming weekend right there, is right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm about 17 hours in.
Wow. That's great.
A
lot.
Am I gonna look at you and tell you it's the best game I've ever played? No, absolutely not. No Pokemon game is, and this is the most fun I've had playing Pokemon in a long time because it's just different.
That's good. Yeah.
I don't know even how to attack this discussion. What question? I guess what.
Just tell me about how you feel about it. I mean, if you want me to guide this, let's talk about the evolution of Pokemon, right? This is a different Pokemon game now, and that's what I think people are buying into and interested in, right? We can talk about the negatives all day long, but let's talk about right now the simple mechanics of this isn't your normal mom and dad Mike Howard's Gen 1 Pokemon game.
No,
what makes
it
so different? Yeah, talk to me about that.
So like it recontextualizes a lot of like actions that you would have done or would normally do in the traditional Pokemon game. And what I mean by that is like when you throw a Pokemon, you're throwing that fucking Pokeball.
Oh,
you're
I like
doing
that.
It.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're going into battle, you're fucking you're doing it, bro. You are selecting a Pokemon and grabbing a ball and throwing it. Like that's totally new, and it's pretty cool to kind of contextualize it that way. Battles themselves are more or less the same. There's like strong styles and agile styles that don't really make a lot of sense to me. But the cool thing is you can kind of walk around your Pokemon as they battle and move the camera. And
can you do a full 360 walk around, like even get on the opponent's side or just on your side?
Full 360. Can walk around them in a full circle. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is cool. It makes it more dramatic.
Yes.
And so like you're not. I think a big problem, and I'm not like a member of the Pokemon game community. You know what I mean? I'll play them. I don't pay much attention to the problems that people have with them, but I think one of the problems that people have with the traditional Pokemon games, the top-down ones specifically, and especially if you're looking at like Diamond and Pearl, which I played recently, is when you are top-down, and you're looking at your sprite, everybody looks a certain way. And then when you go into battle, you go into like this other dimension where everybody looks totally different.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yep.
So like your sprite will be this little tiny guy, and then you go into battle, and all of a sudden he's like a full-fledged man.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That doesn't happen here. Everything is kind of in the same instance, I guess.
Oh, okay.
If that's how you want to put it. So like it's more active, it's more consistent. I don't know. I'm having a good time with it.
Yeah.
It's not good. I'll be surprised if it makes my top 10 games this year.
Okay.
Just kind of looking.
Do you think that's timing wise or literally the game itself? Because sometimes we forget about these games.
It's just it's pretty fun. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty. I would recommend playing this.
Okay.
If you have any interest in Pokemon at all, I'd give this a try for sure.
That's a high recommendation.
I think it's worth $60. I'll just fucking say it.
Okay.
Like if you have any interest in Pokemon at all, this is a fine game for $60. I think it's worth it. Is it the best thing ever? Do I think it's the bee's knees, the best thing since sliced bread? No, not really. It's ugly.
Yes.
It's real. It's fucking ugly.
Do you think that's the game? Is that the developer's choice, or is that the Switch holding it back? Like, what?
No,
is that a mix of all of it? What's going on here?
I think this game is a test. I think Nintendo and Game Freak wanted to see how people would respond. Pokemon's been very much the same since Red and Blue.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different stories, different mechanics introduced here and there, but the
same look.
Is the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And now this is something completely different. And I honestly don't think they knew how people are going to respond. And you got to keep in mind that just because we like this shit over here in the United States, the people in other countries they might not fucking like this. And I don't know how the global reception is. I know the reception here is pretty much all positive. Just because we've been kind of clamoring for something new.
Yeah.
And this is new.
Feels like that.
But who knows? I mean, maybe the positive reception to this gives Nintendo a little bit more confidence to throw some money at Game Freak and say, okay, like on the next one, let's the next Pokemon Legends game, let's, give it some more budget for visuals. Yeah, I don't think this game took a ton of time to make. When did we hear about this game first?
I have no idea. I don't keep up with Pokemon.
It doesn't seem like
it,
this is not a Breath of the Wild 2 situation where like we heard about that a long time ago and still nobody has no idea when it's coming out. We heard about Pokemon Legends and then it came out like a year later.
Okay, I could probably put that timeline together in my head. Yeah, for sure.
So I don't think this had I'd be interested to see if this had a ton of development time.
Okay. Yeah. I like that you used the test bed situation because that reminds me of another franchise that we recently played, which was Halo, adopting the open world, right? I felt like that Halo Infinite was the test bed to be like, hey, are fans going to be open to this like semi-open world that we have here? Will that be the next generation of Halo, right? Because they easily could have just done the same formula, right? Here's 12 linear levels. You're doing it. Have fun, right? But I think it is interesting to see some of these beloved franchises say, hey, let's test the water. Let's see what people's reactions are. And I like the Pokemon. I like what you talk about with the battles, right? Walking around, it makes it feel like it's a living 3D world, right? Instead of just the photo on the screen that moves occasionally, it is cool to see the rapid dash in real time and like see all four hooves, see its butt. It's like it's living, it's breathing. I like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the act of like going and sneaking up in tall grass and crouching and throwing and hitting a Geodude in the back with a Pokeball is just fucking fun. And it always will be.
Yeah.
That's the selling point. Is like, hey, do you want to kind of crouch in tall grass like you would in Breath of the Wild and throw a Pokeball at a Geodude? Fuck yeah, I want to do that. Of course I do. Who doesn't? You know what I mean? That's awesome. Does it look like shit? Yeah, it looks like shit. But I get to throw Pokeballs at Geodudes and get a little Pokedex entry that fills up so that I can eventually craft Ultra Balls and catch stronger Pokemon. It's almost a cheat code. These Pokemon games are.
I have some more questions for you regarding Pokemon. Let's talk about kind of the story and also the structure of the game, right? Me as a Gen 1 guy, I always refer to that. But even beyond that, it has always been based on you start somewhere and you go from gym to gym, right? You catch them all, but you also got to get the badges and you got to grow and you got to conquer them all, right? Where are we at with this game, right? I've skipped through the whole tutorial, so I have no idea, besides I was dropped down from God with a cell phone. Like, are there gyms? What's going on here?
There are trainer battles.
Okay.
There are no gyms. To be honest with you, one of my biggest gripes with this game is how much story there is.
Oh, okay.
Because when it comes to Pokemon's like it falls into that same category, and people are gonna not like this take, but like as a Destiny, or as a Diablo, or as any chase the carrot on the stick game. Because I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care about the story. I care about catching a fucking Steelix. I care about catching an Eevee and 8 Eevees and getting 8 different evolutions. That's what I care about. I don't care about what fucking Joe Schmo of the Diamond Clan has to say for 8 hours. And there is so much to say. He has a lot to say in this game. And so I will just sit there and mash the A button to skip through dialogue as fast as I can. And there's so much. I've skipped so much dialogue in this game. So what is the story? Couldn't tell you. I mean, I can piece together you fall out of the sky from the future. You're in the past.
Oh, okay.
There is a rift in the sky that's made some Pokemon not happy. You've got to go around and tell those Pokemon to chill out by throwing bags of food at them.
Chill out.
And there's a legendary Pokemon somewhere, and then that's, I don't know.
Okay.
That's the story.
Yeah, it is interesting. I have a question, and I know, like, we talk about that. You talk about skipping the dialogue, right? And just so much dialogue. Yeah. Would it change if we had actual voice acting? I don't think, from my memory, looking back at all the Pokemon games I've bought and played for a couple hours, there's never been really voice acting, right, in this.
Never.
Do you think we'll ever get that? Will they be like, hey, we noticed 80% of the people just skipping the dialogue anyways. Like, let's force them to listen or something. Do you think we'll ever get, like, actual VO and dialogue lines here?
I don't know.
Is that just too weird for the series?
I mean, no. I don't think it's weird. I think it's an expectation it's fair to have that expectation.
Okay.
I don't know if Nintendo will do it.
Okay.
Or Game Freak. I don't know. I can't guess what any of these people are gonna do, man. Especially Nintendo, and especially with Pokemon, because this game is the game that people have. This game. Imagine if this game came out in 2015.
Would have been incredible.
People would have lost their goddamn minds.
Bro, would have been lit back then.
Yeah, but because this is what people were asking for in 2015.
Yes,
people have been asking for this type of Pokemon for as long as I can remember. All anybody wants is an open world Pokemon.
Yeah.
And this is the first one, and it's pretty fucking good. So yeah, I mean, the logical side of my brain says yes, Nintendo's going to dump some money into the next Pokemon Legends game. There might be voice acting. It will look better. Maybe there's a lot more Pokemon in it. But the historical side, just looking back, in Nintendo doing things that make sense to me, that doesn't track. So we'll just have to see.
Well, we got a couple people out in the chat right now. Like Theastor says, I'm loving it, but there is a lot of negatives. So hopefully the sequel can correct that. Drago says, I'm 30 hours in, and I don't even think I'm halfway there yet. Kevin A. Sachs, of course, makes the joke. He says, it will be $60 forever. Nintendo doesn't do price drops on first-party games, so it'll be tough to find that on sale. But Washburn gave you the recommendation of I'd buy that at full price, right? And you know the Washburn and Mike scale. Buy day one at full price, catch it on sale, skip it, right? That's how me and Washburn like to operate as our little review scales. It's just very basic. You either skip that, hey, if you can find this on sale, it's good enough, or hey, I'm willing to put down $60 day one on this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if he's saying $60, I like hearing that. I'm 3 hours in, and I am, as a Pokemon fan, a long-term Pokemon fan from day one, right? This is exactly what I've wanted since day one, right? Watching Ash Ketchum on the TV shows, watching the movies, playing the games. This has been the dream, right, Washburn? This is what I've wanted. What I really want, actually, is the open world, maybe partial MMO. I don't want everybody in my world like World of Warcraft. Yeah, but like I do want to see like 8 or 10 people running around me, like we're Brock and Ash and Misty, and like maybe I walk by Washburn, he's catching a Pokemon, or maybe I go see some other jabroni, you know what I mean? But like that is my dream, and it's cool that we're slowly getting there. It seems like Nintendo and Game Freak are opening up to that idea, which is really, really cool, and I hope they continue that. I will say one more time, Washburn, I'm unimpressed by the starters. And I know that's a hot take, and I know I'm a Gen 1 guy, but like
I don't disagree.
Cyndaquil's cool, the Owl's cool, the Sad Seal is not cool. Okay, and I need us to get a little bit better on this.
I'll fucking say it. Cyndaquil sucks.
Wow, we don't like Cyndaquil. Okay.
Cyndaquil is like the worst fire starter of all time.
Even worse than the small little chicken?
Yes, dude.
Even worse than the chicken?
Torchic's rad, dude. Torchic is rad, bro. Cyndaquil sucks. Rowlet though.
The owl.
Rowlet's a fucking baddie, dude.
I see. I've already been the owl.
Bow tie.
I've done the owl.
Rowlet's got a bow tie. He turns into fucking Decidueye, a big fucking
owl with a
crazy
hood.
Bird.
Yeah. Owl with a hood on.
And I don't have much to say about Oshawott. Oshawot's cool. He sits down funny.
Why? I'm a water type guy.
I've never understood the Cyndaquil love. I think Cyndaquil is weak
the anteater with fire. The anteater with fire is what I've been calling it.
Come on,
I
dude.
don't like it. I just don't.
Come on.
Do you think that they just started out too strong with the Gen 1 starters, and that's the issue that I have? They're just so great, Washy. Come on.
Good.
Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander, how they evolved, Charmeleon, freaking Wartortle, and Ivysaur, and then the big three. I mean, come on. Like, every time I see these starters and their freaking evolutions, nobody can compare to Charizard. Nobody's the choice, bro. Nobody's Venusaur. It's weird, bro. I don't like it. And so, I don't know, maybe I'm stuck in the old age. None of them ever hit me. None of them hit me like I need.
Rowlet was the obvious choice.
It was, but I've already been him. That's why I had to choose against him. That's the issue. That's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I think back, I don't really know my Pokemon. I'm not a Pokemon encyclopedia.
Yeah.
So like thinking back to X, which is when X and Y is kind of when I jumped back on, because that's when I started to have money. I could buy dumbass video games. Who did I take in X? Froakie. I took Froakie, who turns into Greninja. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which
is dope. And then if you go over to Sword and Shield, I took the other water type, and he turns into Inteleon, which is a creepy motherfucker. And then in Brilliant Diamond, I took Fire Monkey.
Fire Monkey, I'm looking at. Yeah.
Who's dope as fuck. Turns into like Incinerate.
Okay.
Should throw a soccer ball at you or some shit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're not here to debate starters. We don't want to get people riled up in the Twitch chat and the comments, but that's how I feel. I'm looking for more. I do like this crocodile-looking guy, but one day I'm gonna find some starters that I really connect with. Right now, I have not connected with a starter in a long time, and I don't like that because the starters, to me, as a Gen 1 guy, that's a big moment, right? That is decision paralysis to sit there and go, which out of these three do I want the most? Who is the one that I have to have, and the other two are going to haunt my dreams for the rest of my life, not picking Bulbasaur,
Yeah,
right?
just get the one that your buddy doesn't get, so you can trade
Him. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it going. I have been playing Dying Light 2, and of course, the embargo has now lifted ahead of its release this Friday, Washburn. So I get to finally talk about it with you and everybody out there. Of course, if you want to hear my full big-time thoughts along with the Kind of Funny crew, Blessing, Janet, and Greg, and myself, you can go check out the latest episode of the Kind of Funny Games Cast. Of course, I work at Kind of Funny, so I'm promoting the crap out of Kind of Funny. So you can go check that out on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames or on podcast services around the globe. But the global audience, everybody that has critiqued it and done their reviews on it, have now spoken and been able to share their impressions of the game so far. And right now, Washburn, it's sitting at about a 76 on OpenCritic, and that's close to where I fall. It probably would be just a little bit lower. No, I'd be about 75. I'm anywhere between 7 and 8, depending on the day. But it is nice to read some other people's thoughts right here. You have IGN with a 7. You have PC Gamer with an 84. You have Game Central with a 7. You look over at Game Informer with a 9.5 out of 10. Andrew Reiner really digging this game. GameSpot with a 6 out of 10. So kind of falling in line with how I felt about Dying Light. But it is interesting, Washburn. It's been, I don't know, 5 to 6 years since Dying Light 1. And Dying Light 1 came out when the zombie craze, I think, was starting to hit its peak, but not on burnout mode yet, right? So I think they hit it right at the perfect time where people wanted zombies and they wanted to go back to the good old days of Dead Rising and Dead Island, right? And I think Techland really nailed it 6 years ago with saying, hey, you like zombie slaying? What if we did first-person parkour action like Mirror's Edge with zombies, right? And so I think a lot of people really love that game and hold that near and dear. And now it's been 6 years later, and it's also been pushed back a lot. We've had COVID, right? And we've waited on Dying Light 2, and it's been exciting to jump back into it. But there is some pieces that fall short for me. Really, the story I did not connect with, nor did I think was strong enough for this 20-plus hour experience. And the bugs, of course, that open world jank, as we call it. And Washburn, you've always taught me so well. It's like, these are the things that we call charm that we put up with, but really, we just want to do better. We want this to be gone. We don't deserve bugs. We shouldn't be putting up with this open world jank, but we do it. We grit our teeth and we play through the Skyrims. We play through the Fallout 76s. We make it through on some of these games. And this game suffers from not the best story, right? There's a lot of decisions in this game, and they really push choices, right? Choices matter. They want you to pick a side on multiple occasions. And a lot of the issues is a lot of these characters are underdeveloped. They have a really bad time actually detailing what choices you're making, Washy. And I'm not going to spoil anything in the game for anyone, but I'll tell you this right now. There's a couple of choices, Washy, where when I read those two options, I didn't even know who I was siding with or what I was doing. And that is a huge, massive issue because I would pick one and it would happen. I was like, oh shit, I didn't want that to happen. Like, that's not good. And so that's a big issue there with how this experience went for me. And of course, you know, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, it's all about the gameplay. But like, the story is what's carrying us through. The story is that linear narrative that we're gonna go with no matter what. And so to say it's serviceable, I'm not happy with. It is a big letdown on the story side. But when we do talk about gameplay, of course, Techland nailed it once again. The parkour is fun. It reminds you of the Mirror's Edge days. It does give you the freedom to just run and create the perfect line and jump over zombies, go from roof to roof, gliding and using the grappling hook. And I really did love that. And I am a little disappointed in the combat, and not just the combat itself, but more the enemies, right? In Dying Light 1, it felt like it was do or die, live or absolutely get eaten by zombies. In this one, it felt a little bit easier, right? The streets are a little more clear in day. The threat isn't as present. Even at nighttime, I still felt like it wasn't that menacing, right? In Dying Light 1, it was so menacing you were afraid to go outside. You didn't want to go anywhere. You wanted to skip and fast travel to daytime. In Dying Light 2, when we talk about, you know, running around the streets at nighttime, it just didn't feel as threatening. I would get up on a roof, I would easily get away from every single zombie in my path, and it was really nothing to me. But where they found that feeling, that kind of like gripping suspense, will I survive? Am I going to die? Is in these new kind of gameplay situations called Dark Hollows, or Dark Zones, as I call them, which essentially is just like, hey, here's this building that's packed with zombies, and you need to stealth through them without waking any of them up to get these sweet upgrade rewards or high, material crafting items, right? And it felt like that. You were on the edge of your seat. Your heart was pounding as like you crept past people, and stealth became a big issue, whether you took them down or just kind of walked by them. And I loved that they found it, right? They found that kind of scary moment again, because the streets don't feel like that anymore. It doesn't feel like, oh, snap, here's that alpha that's chasing me for miles on end. It doesn't feel like that at nighttime. So was a little let down with kind of the threat feeling, but I think they found a good way on that. Of course, combat is good. Combat is just generic hack and slash, block, dodge, parry. There is some fun upgrades that you can get that elevate the combat, whether it be jumping down from a high place and instant killing somebody, whether it be spinning in a full circle, backing everybody off of you and hitting them pretty hard. But it was fun. And there is no guns. I see in the chat right now they asked about guns. No guns. There's a story beat, of course, about how Villador, the setting, the guns were taken away. So that gives you the reason of like, okay, there's no AKs, there's no pistols. This is why there's no guns in the games. No, nobody has any guns. No guns at all. There's bow and arrows. A couple people have bow and arrows, but there are no firearms whatsoever. So really, it is melee hack and slash. You'll see one jabroni shoot an arrow at you. You'll run up. You'll chop his head off. He's nobody to you. You probably won't use bow and arrows that much. You might do it occasionally, but you're really going to rely on the hack and slash nature of it.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's what Dying Light is all about, right? Getting visual, I don't know
visceral.
How to say it. Thank you.
Visceral.
It didn't roll off the tongue right. But it's like getting bloody and gory, right? You're supposed to chop off the man's arm and leg, right? And that's what it's all about. And so, yeah, the melee is really at the forefront. And, of course, there's another situation, Washy, where all the weapons degrade and eventually explode and just break, and you never use them again, right? And so there's a balance here, because you can't repair them, and, of course, you can't fall in love with them. So you just have to embrace the moment of, like, I'm using this dope katana, and I'm going to use it, and then I'm going to lose it, and then I'm going to move on to the next one, right? And so there was this give and take where 2 moments I got a dope katana, or I got this really dope, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this medieval longsword that I was hacking people with, and I loved them, but I had to finally embrace that, like, hey, this is going away. And I think that also goes into, like, the setting. Villador isn't Haran, right? Haran was, like, this, like, tropical, Cuban-inspired area. Villador is, like, Eastern European, kind of like Renaissance, almost like Shakespearean feel, where there's, like, a lot of, like, castles and Gothic architecture. When you talk and see people, they're kind of like, I don't want to call it knight in armor gear, but, like, you'll notice it. It feels kind of like a Renaissance medieval vibe, as opposed to, like, oh, that guy's wearing Nike tennis shoes and shorts, right? Nobody looks like that in this game at all. And so it's got some interesting stuff in there, but all around, I would say, if you're a Dying Light fan like I am, you're going to enjoy it. If you are apprehensive because there's a giant February coming your way trying to bite into your wallet, and you're on the fence about this game, you should wait for it to go on sale, right? If you're not interested in this, you're not gonna be, right? Unless you want to check out parkour and have some fun with it. But it is meaty. It's a big open world. They did a good job adding a lot of fun things for you to do and keep, going with to add on all those hours. They have proven that they have a great track record really supporting this game years down the road. They have a 5-year roadmap, right? But if you can get this game on sale, you're killing it. If you're a huge Dying Light fan, go buy it, go enjoy it. But don't expect some awesome story to make you grip and be like, no, I can't let that happen. You're going to be introduced to people and you're going to be like, I don't know who you are. I don't care. Or, hey, these people treated me like shit like 2 hours ago, and now they're begging me to be like nice to them and do all these things and bend over backwards for them. I'm not doing that, Washy. You know what I mean? I'm not going over to Nick's house. Nick just spat in my face literally a mission ago. Damn. And now he's like, yo, bring me vodka. It's like, no, Nick, I'm not doing that for you, So
sounds like Nick.
there's this is weird, balance of it all. But it is cool to see Dying Light return. I really love Dying Light as a whole. I think Techland has created a really fun zombie world, especially with parkour at the front of it. But I think it is a middle of the road, fine experience. But it is a on sale game for me when I look at it.
Graphics mode did you play it in?
I didn't look. We'll have to look here in a little bit, but I'm sure I was probably on quality, not performance, I bet.
So there are 3.
I haven't looked at all. I could probably boot it up and take a look.
Yeah, one of the things I'm excited to see in this one is they have 3 modes.
Okay.
Performance,
okay,
which is locked at 60.
I like 60. Okay.
With 1080 resolution.
Okay.
There's a resolution mode, which hits, I think, on the Series X like 1900p, so like not quite 4K, but almost 4K, and is locked at 30. And then they did the thing that I've been wanting games to do for a long time, which is have the third mode, where it's called quality mode, and it is settings maxed, ray tracing on.
Ooh.
But the resolution takes a hit.
Okay.
So the resolution, I think, is locked on the quality mode. I think resolution's actually locked at 1080, and it's at 30 FPS. So it's a 1080, 30 FPS game, but they kick on ray tracing, and they slide all the settings up to max, ultra.
Ooh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm turning it on as we speak, so we're going to take a look right now.
I've seen some of the side-by-sides with the 3 modes, and that quality mode looks fucking awesome.
Really?
And I know it's 1080 and I know it's 30 frames, but like when you click on the ray tracing and all the other settings and you slide those up to max, like that's a thing that matters. And I think that's probably how I'll play it.
Okay. Well, I am excited for co-op as well. We didn't get to play co-op at all during the review period, but it will kick on here really, really soon. I'm excited for some co-op. I want to experience co-op with my friends and see what that's all about, as I'm currently loading up my game right now so we can take a look and see what I've been playing. But I don't know. I didn't mess with that. I honestly didn't even think of that. It's not a... You should kick on
the ray tracing mode.
Okay, maybe that will be... I was going to say, it's not a visually stunning game, right, by any circumstance.
I think that's why they put the quality mode in.
Oh, really?
So I don't know what your...
So then
this looks like performance mode.
We'll go options and then video. So I'm on performance mode here. And you liked
kick it over.
Quality?
So kick it over. There's quality and resolution. Quality's going to drop you to 30 frames.
Oh, I felt it instantly.
But look at the lighting.
Felt it instantly.
Yeah, but it looks so much better, though. It looks so much better. Look at the fucking purple glow coming off that lamp. Look at the light up there against the thing. Look at how the fireflies fucking shine against that wall right there. Yeah, it looks fucking fantastic.
What was I on?
That's how I'm going to play it.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I'm going to play it on quality mode with the ray tracing. And the settings bumped up to max.
Yeah, man, okay.
Oh, dude, that looks just so much worse, bro.
This is Twitch chat. Do y'all see this?
Look at Mike. Do me a favor. Go over to the fireflies. You see that bush with the fireflies on it? Just stare at that. Okay. Look at it right now. Look how you see how like they're illuminating.
Yeah.
But they're not shining up against the wall. Stand right there and don't fucking move.
Okay.
Look at that for a second. Then click on quality mode.
Okay, everybody soak it in. And let's go to quality mode.
Did it do anything?
It changed. Do you see something?
I see it. Yeah.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just have bad eyes, Washy. Maybe I'm just... See, I always tell you I'm not the visual guy, you know?
Standing. It just depends on where you're standing and what you're looking at. You can see that when those fireflies illuminate with the quality mode on, they're illuminating some stuff that's around them. It's not just an object that's going from dark yellow to bright yellow.
Okay.
They're actually like casting light.
Well, of course, the cool part is we'll be able to play this.
I think this looks pretty fucking good.
Okay.
To be honest with you. And I'm not psyched about 30 frames. I wish there was I wish more developers would target 1440 with ray tracing like Insomniac does. But yes, if I can turn ray tracing on, I want to see it because I want to fucking just see how the game is supposed to look with the settings maxed.
Okay. Well,
I hope they do this for Cyberpunk.
Oh, well, the cool part is we'll get to play some more of that this week. I'll get to tell you all about that. But that's my thoughts. You can hear a little more in-depth conversation over on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames and all that jazz. But Washy, let's talk about the news of the week. Let's jump into it. What's cooking over on the news side of the week? As we've talked about what we've been playing. We've talked about all the TV shows we've been watching. And let's go have some fun and check out what's hot this week right now. Which is, first one, MLB The Show. Washy, 2 cool pieces of MLB The Show. One, it's returning to Game Pass day 1. It has been announced the second year now of not only Xbox users finally getting that baseball sim we've always wanted, but coming to the Game Pass service. What's your thoughts on that?
It's another game I don't have to pay $60 for that I will probably put at least 20 to 30 hours into.
Yeah, we like that, huh?
So I put 20 or 30 hours into the show every year.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I mean?
It's good.
I go into Diamond Dynasty mode and I get shit on and yell at the servers and Then I go on the road to the show and just mindlessly hit balls and yeah, I love Mlb the Show. For my money, it's the best sports game. Excuse me, it's the best sports game that exists.
Yes. I mean, I agree with that, Washy. I think it's all personal preference. Like, maybe you like football, you like the speed of soccer, right? But, like, it is probably the best quality sports title you could play and buy out of all the offerings. And it is special. And the cool one here is they have an awesome special edition cover, Washy. And you and I, you know, the Mamba Forever edition was very special. The Hall of Fame, 75 years of NBA 2K, the WNBA edition, have all been really special to me in cases that I really want. Now, check it out, Washy. MLB The Show hitting you with something special news. The Afro Samurai creator, I'm going to absolutely butcher this gentleman's name, so I apologize. Takahashi Akazaki? I think I'm pretty close on that one, but I'm sure I mispronounced that. Illustrates Shohei Ohtani for the MLB The Show 2K22 cover right here. Look at how lit this is, Washy. Oh my God, bro.
You know, it's because he loves manga.
Oh, really? Cool.
Ohtani, yeah, he loves manga, and so they fucking did this for him.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It's a fire-ass cover.
Yeah, super dope cover. Really, really excited to jump back into MLB The Show. I mean, of course, shout out to Major League Baseball, Sony, and Xbox. I don't know, the powers that be working together to put this game back on Xbox first off and Game Pass, you know.
Yeah, you know that when they put it on Xbox, the amount of money that they were making on cards.
Oh, just skyrocketed.
The fucking Diamond Dynasty cards.
Yeah, skyrocketed.
I mean,
you know that.
Yeah, because you know, like, because I don't have to pay $60 for the game, which I would have done anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to pay $60 on Diamond Dynasty packs. Just because, dude. I get the game. It's part of my fucking... You know what I mean? I was going to buy it anyway. And so now it's the same thing as last year. I'm going to spend $60 on stubs and fucking...
So good. So
get my team up to a level where I can actually go online and compete with people.
Yeah. I love doing that. Now, question from the chat, Washy. Reverend Cam Abbott wants to know, bigger question, will it come to PC and PC Game Pass? It's a title we don't see on PC.
I don't know.
When will we see that happen? You know, sometimes you don't get all the sports games over on PC, which is very interesting. But we're slowly moving in that direction. Will this be the time? You know what I mean? When will we do that?
I just don't know if, like, PC... I don't know.
They're moving towards that. You see
like
Jim Ryan and them. They're talking about moving.
Sports games are just so built for the couch, dude. You know what I mean? Like sports games are just such. Grab your buddy, grab your brother or your dad or mom or whoever wants to play, and sit down with two controllers and play each other in a sports title.
We just now
on the TV.
We're just now at the age where you just plug in a controller so much fast. You just it's that easy. You know what I mean? We live in that world now where it's just plug in the controller. You're good to go. Have fun with it, you know? So something to think about. We have another fun one. This is a story just for me, Washburn. I know you don't really care about it, but over here on IGN, Supermassive seems to have at least 6 more Dark Pictures anthology games planned. And yes, Washburn, this is what it's all about. I freaking love Supermassive. I love Until Dawn, and I even love more the Dark Pictures anthology. I'm really, really enjoying it. I've been having fun with all 3 games so far: Man of Medan, Little Hope, and House of Ashes. Coming up next will be The Devil in Me, but it looks like they have trademarked 6 more games coming up, which is Switchback, Directive 8020, which I want to see, Washy. That's the one I'm interested in. I want that to be like some sort of futuristic cyberpunk scary game, which I'm interested in, and more. So shout out to Supermassive. Keep making these games. You do great jobs with decision-based horror games, and I want more of them. So I'm all about that, squad, and I can't wait for more. Continuing on, Washy, the big news of the week. Sony has acquired Destiny developer Bungie for $3.6 billion. It's all over the news. The content arms race in the video game industry is, of course, continuing on at full force. What do you think about Bungie and Sony coming together here?
I don't know, because all the stuff that came out after kind of had me scratch my head. It's like, why? I don't mind it. I'm not mad at it, you know. But if they're going to continue to publish Destiny cross-platform,
multi-platform, it will remain multi-platform studio with the option to self-publish.
You know, it's just kind of Sony's going to get a chunk of, you know, people buying silver and and game sales and expansion sales. And I would probably bet, even though they say we're committed to being cross-platform, whatever the next Bungie thing is that's not Destiny will be a Sony exclusive.
I can see that for sure. I can definitely understand that. Do you think
fine?
Yeah. Do you think on the opposite side for Bungie, do you think this more is a like, hey, you know, we are independent now. They've left Xbox, they've left Activision Blizzard. Now they're off on their own. Do you think it's more of a like, hey, now we have the backing of a larger corporation like Sony, where it's not do or die. We don't have to stress all the time. You have that freedom, and you get to keep everything you want, right? Is that another way of looking at it?
I don't want to use the term like safety net. I don't think that's what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt to have a massive. Sony gaming is massive, right?
Yes.
It doesn't hurt to have that kind of, as a, you know, the wind at your sails that help you kind of financially and support you.
Agreed.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like Destiny. I'm not a Destiny guy. I'll probably play the Witch King or whatever when it comes out. It would be fire if, as a part of this deal, like Sony did the Game Pass thing, because they took Destiny off of Game Pass.
That's correct.
And so it would be really cool if like it went over to PlayStation as part of like a PS Plus membership, and I could just play it over there.
Yeah, it has crossplay as well, so your friends can still join you.
Progression carries over.
Yeah.
Way. So yeah, I mean, I'm down for this. Like, I'm actually super down for this because Sony needs a first-person shooter.
Yes.
And so they bought the people who made Halo, which is fucking hilarious.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But, you know, Bungie is a very talented team. They've been working on Destiny for a long time now, almost a decade, right? When you look back on it all. And it is special, right? And I think a cool one is that kind of safety net I really like. I know you don't like using that word, but like I do like knowing that like Bungie is safe, right? They have the bankroll of Papa Sony over there, and they can create. They can continue to work hard, and we know that these talented individuals will be hopefully taken care of very well and have that safety net to be like, hey,
And
go
that's the thing,
create,
it's
you know?
like, yeah, I want the people making the games to get rich.
Yes.
And so I hope that this means more money in the pockets of the people who are making Destiny. Not the people at the top, but fucking Joe Schmo down there in animation who makes these incredible fucking Destiny cutscenes.
Yes, they are
Because
very
they
good.
are incredible.
Yes.
And I hope those people just get a fucking nice little pay increase.
Get a check, bro. Get a check.
You know? Because
yeah.
you got to support these fucking people. And I think, like, Imran Khan put out a great tweet about this. He said something like the games industry has just pushed itself to a point where like studios the size of I'm paraphrasing, but like studios the size of Bungie, it's really hard for them to just exist on their own, dude, without kind of a financial backer or like a support system like a Sony or a Microsoft or an Activision Blizzard formerly, you know. And so it, you know, consolidation, people are going to think what they think about it. I don't love it.
Okay.
I don't, you know, it does, the thought of being in a world where everything is owned by 6 corporations isn't a very positive one. But I don't, also like gaming's not really there or close to there yet. And I think, yes, while consolidation is bad, there are still more indie developers than ever. You know, there's going to be another Among Us this year that's made by like 2 people. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
There will be a Valheim. There will be something that is totally unexpected that takes the world by storm, you know? And so that's, yeah, so like, yes, while consolidation's not great, you know, I this move makes sense. The question for me is like, what's the next one? Because there's gonna be a next.
Okay.
Sony's gonna buy a Capcom or a Sega, and these you're gonna start to see, I would say maybe 2 Japanese developers fall off the table, that are kind of up for grabs. Whether it's I mean Square, you know, could be nabbed up. Sega, Capcom, they're all, I mean, everything's fair game. After the Activision Blizzard sale, it's like, you know, who can't be bought?
Yeah. There's a number for everyone, everything.
And so you get into like, you know, we're not really in antitrust territory yet, but like we are in a place that is like all these AAA developers in AAA games are going to kind of fall under the umbrella of like one of like 4 or 5 corporations.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the way it's going to be. And that's how, I mean, look at Hollywood, dude. Everything is either owned by Disney or Warner Brothers or Sony Pictures. Like it's just kind of the way it's going to go, because that's, for better or worse, that's just how it works.
I want to talk really quick before we move on to the final 2 stuff. Really fast, your thoughts when we look at PlayStation Spartacus and what this could be. Do we anticipate that having day 1 releases for all first-party titles like Game Pass? Is that a must-do on Sony's side now because Xbox does it? Is it one thing that consumers are really going to want and expect? Like, for me, I love the day 1 first-party titles. Do you think that Sony will do that?
I think Sony will have a day and date release plan for their exclusives titles on Spartacus? No.
Really? Okay.
No.
A discount?
No shot.
Okay.
No, I think I feel like I'm stealing from, I think it was Blessing who predicted this.
Okay.
On
what did he say?
predictions episode a couple weeks ago, where he said like Spartacus would have 3 tiers.
Okay.
I think that's probably pretty fucking accurate and feasible, where you'll have a tier where some of those things are included day and date. But I just like with how Sony is with their exclusives and how they've been in the past, like when you think back to the Fortnite stuff, the Fortnite fiasco, and things like that, and them being vocal at times about like, hey, we want people to play games on PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know, and them kind of being that way. I just don't see it. I could be totally wrong. There might and probably will be a more expensive tier of Spartacus that has some extra perks like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see it being anything like what Game Pass is, where it's like you get a Halo or a Forza day one.
Okay. I look forward to seeing what Spartacus is all about as we move forward, especially with the Bungie acquisition. What's the future? They talked about live service games. They're thinking about 10 live service games. And we've seen that, you and I, on the Xbox side, right? You think of Sea of Thieves. You think of Grounded going in there, right? Like, live service games are a real thing. It's kind of the future. It's kind of what games are turning to with Halo, Forza Motorsport coming out soon, right? Like, that is kind of the trend. That's what developers have clearly shown that they might want to do, So it will be interesting. 10.
I mean, it's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but is it though? Because like I already just named 4.
How many live service games fucking
on Xbox
do anything?
Well, you have Destiny over there. That's done everything. You have WoW.
Destiny. Okay, WoW.
Final Fantasy 14. I mean,
Yeah,
live
Destiny,
service
WoW,
is a
Final
big,
Fantasy 14.
Live service is a broad stroke there.
Warzone.
Warzone, Apex, Fortnite.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's a broad stroke.
It's yeah.
There's all Genshin Impact
games.
Right there. Yeah, exactly. You got,
every multiplayer game is a games as a service. Every single one.
Yeah, pretty much nowadays.
I mean?
It's the new classification of it. Yeah.
It's like there is no line anymore. You know what I mean? No multiplayer game launches content complete now, unless it's Gears of War, which nobody fucking plays.
It's just so difficult, Washy. The PvP is so difficult. They play the story mode. They maybe do a little bit of escape mode.
It's not about that.
It's
just about like, I don't know, man. I've got issues with this that I don't.
Well, then we'll save it for another podcast.
It just sounds like bitching, but it's just like, dude, I want more now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel like I'm being persuaded or that I'm being like manipulated into becoming a metric.
Okay.
Because that's what it is. That's what this all is. This is all about developers and people going to shareholders and saying, look at how long this person played our game. Look at how many playtime hours they have over a specific period of time. That's what this is all about. And that's why these games are coming out half done and they're saving the rest for later. And that's okay. But I don't care for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and I say all that, and then you look at something like Gears that does launch content complete and goes away in a week.
Yeah.
And so you can't blame a developer for doing it this way. But it all depends on the quality and the release schedule and the ability to get a roadmap out and have some sort of mechanic that keeps people coming back in. Nobody's done it since Warzone. There's Fortnite, which is still going.
Yeah.
There's Apex, which is still going. There's Warzone that's still going. Destiny has its community. Whatever, that's fine. WoW has its community, and that's all great. But it's just like, what's going to be the next behemoth?
What's next?
And when you tell me that you're going to launch 10 live service games, that to me sounds like we're kind of firing a shotgun blast, and we're going to see which pellet hits.
Which out of the 10 stick, hopefully 3.
Hopefully 1 or 2 of these 10 have staying power. Because dude, look at Halo. Look at the numbers. They're down. It's not dead, but the numbers are down, dude. And the game's been out for like 2 months, and nobody's really talking about it anymore.
They played it and they left. We had our fun, and you keep going back to it. Yeah.
People will come around for majors, but like it was popping off for like a month and a half, and now it's just like Everybody's already our attention spans can't fucking last this long, dude.
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
you have to have a content roadmap that keeps people engaged. You just have to.
Mhm.
And apparently that's really fucking hard to do. I'm not a
Hard.
game developer,
Seems
but like
hard.
just looking around it, look at Hyperscape, dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking dead. How long's that game been out?
That was
A
less
year?
than a year, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, they're shutting it down. And that was a good fucking video game, dude. You know what I mean? How long? What's the fucking shelf life on Spellbreak, which I think is another good video game? What's the shelf life on any of these high budget titles that just don't keep people around? It's so fascinating
Yeah.
because you have just behemoths, and then there's no middle ground. You know what I mean? There's the behemoth, and then there's
Small fish. That's right.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. It's tough.
And so if you're not up there with the big dogs, you're going to be forgotten about in like kind of the social mind share.
Mhm.
It drives me crazy. So that's my rant.
I like that. A good rant. Good rant.
I don't know. I hope that like we get something that has a staying power of Warzone that's good.
Yeah. Be interesting
I
to
was
see
really
what's next.
hoping it would be Halo, but it's not.
We'll see what
It
Big
makes
Joe
me
has to
sad.
say. He put out a tweet recently that said, hey,
Yeah,
I
I
promised
mean,
y'all a roadmap in January. It's now February, and we still need more time. So, either hopefully the roadmap comes out and they either are sticking to the plan of May and, 9 months down the road, Forge, or hopefully in positive things, it would be like, yo, we're ahead of schedule. Most likely how the world has been with COVID and everything. It's probably going to be, hey, we're pushing
That's
this
the other
back
thing.
and we need
Everything's
more
behind.
time. You know what I mean? That's probably how this is going to go. So we'll see. It will be very interesting. I need new maps in that right away.
I need it.
It has to happen.
I think it needs Battle Royale.
I mean, we've had that conversation,
to fucking get. And I know people get uptight about that.
Power.
And there was a small time when I said it didn't need a Battle Royale. I went from before launch, I was like, this game has to launch with the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
To no, it doesn't need one because it's so fucking good.
So good.
To 2 months after launch, saying, maybe it probably does. It probably does. If it wants to dominate. And I don't want Halo to just be okay. You know what I mean? I don't like. I want it to dominate. I want it to be Warzone. I want it to be Valorant. I want it to fucking dominate. I want it to do hundreds of thousands of viewers like those other games do. Because that's the expectation that I have for Halo. But it's not doing that.
It's not. It's 100% not. Maybe our arena shooter's still in.
Valorant does fine. Counter-Strike does fine.
Yeah, you're right.
Counter-Strike's fucking ancient. You know
all
what I mean?
True. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What's the CDL viewership like?
I don't think CDL's done a tournament
Overwatch?
yet. Or maybe they just did one recently because they had that hosting problem.
Yeah, Overwatch seems to be doing okay. I mean, you got all the Blizzard stuff, but like people are going to still show up and watch the game and support the game. So I don't think it's a question of arena shooters. I just think it's a question of content. And maybe Halo's just past, like, we're just old, man. Maybe we're
Do you think
old.
the franchise is too old? The name doesn't carry the same weight?
Maybe Halo just isn't what I think it is, which is such a bummer to admit, but like that could just be the case. I mean, maybe Halo's just not the behemoth legendary franchise that I hold it as and want it to be.
Well, it's a perfect transition into our final story because you and I, we hold Halo to very high esteem. It is our legendary game. It is the game we grew up in and love. And guess what? It's finally time, Washburn. Paramount Plus and the Halo TV series is in full effect. We got our first trailer, and you and I are going to live react to it. We're going to watch it together. We got a release date now. We get to see Master Chief. Of course, we get to see hear Jen Taylor, I should say, as Cortana, which is exciting. But let's check this out. Let's talk about it. Maybe you can pinpoint some things that I might have missed the first time. We can talk a little more in depth on it. Of course, you got me going wild on the Halo books. So I've been really enjoying the Halo books out of the game with my audiobook listening. But, of course, nothing's cooler than this guy right here. I mean, look at him right here. Master Chief is alive and well. And I'm excited to talk about the TV show with you. So hopefully this sound comes through and we should be good to go. Yeah, it looks like it's live. Now, feel free anytime, Washburn, to let me know what you think, what you're vibing with, what you're not vibing with.
I mean, I've watched this a couple times.
Okay, and what are the standout moments then? What do you like about this?
I think the Elite looks awesome.
Okay, is that Arby?
The Master Chief was
Looks like
enhanced and
Arby.
trained
Okay.
for one purpose: to win this war. He and the other Spartans are our only effective
Spartans
weapons
look good.
against the Covenant.
Yeah, I don't know.
He is lethal.
The question is,
Upgradable.
will Arby
And most
and the Elites
importantly-
talk? Do you think they'll actually talk?
Huh.
Covenant
Okay.
forces appear to
You
be
read the
next
books, right? You know they all have their little
object.
fucking translators.
Yep, uh-huh.
When I
Allow
touched
them
the
to do
object,
that.
I felt some
Okay.
sort
Just wondering what they sound like, how that will come off on the TV screen, you know?
What they did to us.
Yeah, I don't know where
you
they're
know?
going with this at all.
You
And I
just
guess
decided
that's
to
a
help me.
good
Why
thing.
would a Spartan do
Okay.
What does
Because
one
it
do
is,
with a
they've said it's like
superhuman
a
you're not
totally
sure you
different
can trust?
timeline.
Yes,
This
the
has-
silver
this has
screen timeline, the
Nothing
silver
to
timeline.
do. Yeah, this has
I'm
nothing to do
Cortana.
with the games or the books.
Correct. They'll use pieces from it, but they are going to forge their own path.
I actually
Master
don't
Chief
mind
recovered something.
Cortana not
Sacred
being
ring.
purple.
Halo.
Whatever. Like, if I think that was a weird thing for people to get hung up on.
Yeah, it was
But,
a weird thing. I
you
don't think
know.
it's that bad. You know what I
You
mean?
know, it's fine. She looks fine. It's Jen Taylor.
I think she
I'm
looks
down for
great.
it.
I like the hair, how it sparkles, too. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan
she
of
looks
that.
dope.
It's drawn my eye. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And it's Jen Taylor's voice. You know, I'm happy with that.
Master Chief recovered something.
I hate the
Sacred ring.
music.
Halo.
Yeah, but somebody in the comments was like, hey, maybe you don't splurge on the big Halo moment yet and you save the song. But yeah, I agree. I don't like the music. They should have just gone with the Halo music.
Something
Cortana,
else.
I'm gonna need you now.
Get Gareth
This-
Coker on the
yeah,
track.
I mean, obviously they're gonna do some flood stuff.
Now, is that Flood
it's-
or is that... Now, people were
would be
yelling at me. I thought it was Flood too, but they're saying these are the little worms that the hunters are built up of. You know what I
is that
mean?
lady doing? I mean, she looks like she's in league with the Covenant.
She's definitely in league with the Covenant. She's doing something bad for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to come off as negative. I guess I just didn't need
I'm gonna
them
need
to
you now.
rewrite the script.
You
And
would have
I'm not-
preferred to follow the line of the actual
Yeah,
Halo.
I'm just because it's a great fucking story, dude.
It is a very good story.
Find the Halo.
And I'm
Win the
not
war.
a fan. I've never been a fan of kind of just disregarding source material.
Okay, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'll watch it. Yeah. I'll definitely fucking watch it. It looks okay. But I didn't need them to do their own thing. The good thing already exists. Why don't we just do that? You know what I mean?
With the
Like-
source material and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like it's a weird spot because like you can't really I guess I don't know how you retell the story of Halo 1 on TV and maybe that's where they got caught up. But there's a lot of Halo's a weird thing. Halo's just a weird thing. It's so wide and the story of Halo spans hundreds of thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get into like the Forerunner stuff and the Flood and what the Flood are and why they're there and what the Halo is and why it was built, and I hope that this kind of explores that side of it. And so if it goes into that side of stuff, I'll probably dig it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean I saw a funny tweet like it looks like a little bit of an SNL skit You know what I mean? It's like just high budget enough to be passable, but like also not. You know, in some scenes. But yeah, I hope they get into the weird stuff. That's what I want. I want good action scenes.
Yeah.
I want them to talk about Halo, the ring.
Okay.
Why the Halo ring is there? That's a cool shot, right?
There's a
there.
great shot with the prophets. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's definitely Arby standing there.
Gotta be Arby right there. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It could be awesome. It could do what I want it to do, which is talk about Halo and the Forerunners in the Flood.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be really fucking boring.
I am cautiously optimistic, but I am, as a Halo mega fan, right? I'm blessed. I'm very happy. I always love the idea of taking the video games I love and making them movies and television shows. I'll always be ride or die for the Tomb Raiders from Angelina Jolie and beyond, right? To the idea of bringing Uncharted and Nathan Drake onto the big screen, right? I love that. And I think, you know, no matter what you think of those, I've been blessed, right? With Forward Unto Dawn and Nightfall, right? I'm happy. I want this universe to be everywhere for me, from books to games. And I love watching TV and movies. So I want this, right? And so I'm going to eat all of this up. Maybe it's just hot garbage. Who knows? But like, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'll be there.
I'm in the bag for this.
Yeah, I'm there. You got me. I'm excited, right?
And I'll probably not hate it because I'm gonna see Master Chief punch an elite in the face.
It's gonna be dope.
And that's that's as much as you got. That's all you need to say.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be the best thing ever? I don't. It could be, or it could be really fucking awful. But at least I got to see Master Chief punch an elite in the face. So, you know, I'm good with that.
We've done it. We've done it.
Yeah,
right.
I hope it's good. I really do. I hope it's good.
Enough to make me pay for Paramount Plus. So Paramount Plus, you get my subscription. Here I come.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you money. I'm watching it, and we'll go from there. But watching that is
drop?
March 24th, I think was the date right there, late March. So we're right around the corner from it, which is exciting. And guess what, Washy? That was another awesome Wednesday of you and I catching up on what the heck has been going on in our lives, talking about the news, the entertainment world, and most importantly, talking about shoes. You know what I mean? Talking about shoes. Everybody needs, I hope you take away the shoe lesson that we talked about today. You know what I mean? Buy shoes. Buy yourself some pairs of shoes. But Washy, let's say goodbye to everybody. Let's get the heck out of here. And let's go play some video games. So for everybody watching live on Twitch, guess what? We're still live with you. We're going to go play some video games with all of you now. And if you're watching over on YouTube, thanks for being over on the YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. Leave a fun comment about shoes. And thanks for just watching over there. All right? It's been great just catching up with Washy. Y'all know the deal with these. Each and every week, I want to get together with Washy and all of my friends and invite some of you on. Just catch up, ask you how you're doing, what's life about, and what kind of cool video game stuff you're into. So we'll catch you next week on the next Mike and Washy Catch Up. Until then, play video games, y'all. Peace.